ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. Pre-peer team visit preparations. After the submission of the self-study report, after the completion of the data validation and verification process, then you have to start preparation for the pre-peer team visit. There are certain things which you have to check, you have to prepare, you have to consolidate during this period. I have identified 5 things which are necessary to do. 5 things. 1. Infrastructure. Number 2, you have to prepare the PowerPoint for the presentation. Number 3, you have to arrange the documentation. Number 4, you have to organize a mock peer team once or twice. Number 5, any other thing which you want to add. I am not restricting this one. In this one by one I will be discussing infrastructure. Of course, your institution is having a infrastructure. It is having a physical infrastructure, technical infrastructure, laboratory infrastructure, so many things. You have to check all these things, the infrastructure. You have to maintain the cleanliness. You have to arrange in the well fashion. It should be neat and clean. Wherever necessary, you have to go it for painting or whitewashing. If you can afford, you can make a complete painting of the institution or whitewashing. But cleanliness maintenance is very important. Equipments, you get all the equipments, get them repaired which you are using. If there are computers, printers of that kind, laptops, all those things are to, also you have to check whether they are in a proper state or not. Physical infrastructure, you check each and every corner of the building. It may be a classroom, it may be a principal chamber, it may be a staff room, it may be a ladies room, it may be a washroom, it may be hostels, it may be a sports complex, a playground, indoor stadium, NCC, NSS rooms, IQAC room, library, so many things. Every physical structure you have to check carefully and get the things done if any repairs are to be done. The smart boards, the blackboards, the windows, the electrical things. So like this, you keep everything get repaired and keep it in a well fashion, proper fashion. Second one is the presentations, making arrangement for the presentations. Presentation by the principal, the time earmarked is 45 minutes. You prepare a presentation for the principal, PowerPoint presentation. You have to insist upon qualitative metrics because peer team on site, whatever they are visiting, they are validating the qualitative metrics. There may be 35 or 36, as you know, 35 for UG college and 36 for PG colleges. So accordingly, you prepare the PowerPoint presentations in the same order. And your PowerPoint presentation by the principal should be exhaustive. It has to cover up whole college, complete information about the college. And your PPTs, every slide, must be concise. They must be very clear. They must be self-explanatory. This is very important. And keep the things in the bullet form, not in the descriptive form. As far as possible, you use the tables, the bar graphs, the pie graphs, or the pictorial things, few. So in this fashion, you provide the institutional information in the principal's presentation. One more thing you remember, For any presentation, you keep ready 4 hard copies. 3 hard copies for the peer team members and one hard copy for principal. Even you can keep one more for the IQAC coordinator or steering committee coordinator who is accompanying the peer team member. So in all 5 hard copies. The reason is even if the electricity fails, if anything happens to the generator, so you cannot stop that one. You can continue that one. For a moment you can wait. If you do not get the electricity, then you can continue. Principal can refer the hard copy and simultaneously the peer team members will be referring the hard copy so that there will be no grumbling at all. So keep that also ready. In every PowerPoint presentation, you keep the things like this. The next presentation will be by the heads of the departments. They will be visiting the departments and they will be interacting with the heads of the departments. Heads of the departments during the PowerPoint presentation, their slides should contain the information mainly related in criteria 1, criteria 2 and criteria 3, which are pertaining to the department. They have to give the information, not pertaining to the college. So what is the student strength of that subject? How many students are involved in the certificate courses? And how many certificate courses the department has framed? And how many remedial classes they are taking? So everything, something like that. The departmental meeting proceeding book and work diary, whatever you are writing. How many faculty are with PhD? How many faculty have made the paper presentation? How many have published the books? So like that, how many are there as the academic council members? How many have taken part in the examination, evaluation? So the things pertaining to the department, they can make the PowerPoint presentation very neatly. And every department will be hardly, they will be making about 8 to 10 minutes. You prepare well. Again, I will be telling, the presenter should be slightly fluent in English as far as possible. A clarity has to be there to identify and others can support. Friends, one more thing you remember, while making the PowerPoint presentation, in between if the peer team members need any clarification, in that case if someone answers, don't try to correct that answer. If you want to correct later on, you can correct. It's not required also. So certain things, these things you have to maintain. And there will be a presentation in the IQAC. In the IQAC presentation related to the IQAC, how the IQAC is formed, you show that list, and how many meetings you have completed, and what are the meeting proceedings, and how you have implemented those meeting proceedings. If you organized any seminar or workshop or the conference, details regarding that one, how many participants were there, how many paper presentation pertaining to the arrangement by the IQAC only. You don't give much information about the departments and all those things. What the IQAC has done for guiding the faculty to apply for the funds, apply for the projects, and how they have supported the faculty or the institution, they have to make a PowerPoint presentation on that only. Of course, after that one, they will be visiting the student support services like NCC, NSS, and they may be visiting the sports complex. There you brief, you show that one clearly, library, playground. You try to show to the peer team members each and every corner, whatever the infrastructure you are having. And number 3, documentation. In the documentation, this is very important. There will be a separate time is earmarked for verification of the documents. One thing you remember, friends, NAAC peer team is not a fault-finding team. It is a fact-finding team. They are validating whatever you have furnished in the self-study report. Even if you are having any good things beyond self-study report, those things also you can bring to their knowledge with the evidences, with the supporting documents. with a supplementary SSR. So friends, in the documentation, you arrange in one hall all the documents systematically, and people should be earmarked, person should be earmarked, staff should be earmarked who can show that document criteria wise. Or if you have got less number of faculty, certain 2 or 3 criteria, they should show those documents to the peer team members, whichever they demand. When they visit the office, certain documents are verified in the office itself. Keep all the registers neatly, easily available to the office staff, so that you can show them very easily. It may be a fee register, it may be attendance register, it may be a UGC register, and it may be audit, it may be internal audit or external audit, and it may be pertaining to your service books, service registers, and it may be pertaining to the free shift, fee concessions, scholarships, so many and so things will be there. You just arrange, keep all those documents systematically in the office. They may verify those documents in the office itself. And rest of the things they may be verifying in the documentation at the time of documentation. Sometimes what happens when they are visiting the department, there only they may verify the documents. So certain things you can keep there. Later on you can shift them to the IQAC. This is as far as document verification is concerned. Next, one more thing is mock visit. You arrange at least 1 or 2 mock visits before the actual peer team visit. One peer team, what you do within the college. 3 members you make. One should be the chairman, one should be the coordinator, and another should be the member. So you have to participate so seriously as if actual peer team is visiting. That becomes an internal mock peer. And next one, external. You invite some 3 persons who are well known, whose institutions are accredited recently. So you invite 3 persons from various nearby institutions, make 1 chairman and 1 coordinator and 1 member, and let them visit, let them give the feedback. Whatever the feedback or the recommendations they are making, you try to implement those recommendations before the actual peer team visit. And apart from these 4 points, 5th point is, so whatever you want to add some more, you may be, because it is not possible to discuss everything. So whatever you feel like adding, you can add that one. In this fashion, you have to make 5 preparations as pre-visit preparations. Definitely you will do, be confident, and these things will boost up your confidence. And as far as PowerPoint presentation is concerned, before the peer team visit, you just practice at least 2 times, minimum 2 to 3 times you have to practice. You have to practice whoever is presenting, including principal, I am telling you. You make presentation by standing before the mirror, then in front of the staff, in the IQAC, like that you make the presentation. You will become perfect. Definitely we can do. We are teachers. We have no stage fear. We are courageous. So go ahead, do well. I wish you all the very best of luck. Namaskara.